It's always great fun to be in Estonia. I've been lucky enough to come on quite a few occasions, and the reason is usually Arvo Pärdi. We've formed a relationship with Arvo Pärdi a long time ago, and I've been lucky enough to perform his music over about 30 years. And on this occasion, a very pleasant surprise that I received an email from Tuntud at very short notice saying, "David, what are you doing? May 12, 15. I said, "Well, not very much." He said, "Please, would you like to sing Misereret in Tallinn?" And I, of course, said, "Well, I'd love to," because Tuntud knows that Misereret is one of my very favourite pieces, and I love to sing it. And so the opportunity to perform it again, and in Tallinn, was something I couldn't say no to. I should say here that he did not mention anything about a theatrical production or sort of stage production going on at the same time. I thought I was just coming to sing with the Estonian Philharmonic Chamber Choir and the Tallinn Chamber Orchestra and the soloists, Misereret. So it was a bit of a shock when I discovered there was a lot of other things happening. Those were early days of our relationship with Arvo. We'd met him for the first time, I think, in about 1986. And we performed Passioon then. And we got on so well together. I mean, I was in a group called the Hilliard Ensemble. That Arvo said, "Well, would you be interested in me writing a piece for you?" And so we said, "Of course, we'd love it." And the piece he came up with was Misereret. Of course, it was a slight problem for us because we were actually a male voice group, four of us, and he wrote a piece that requires a soprano who can sing a top C, so I couldn't do that. So we had an extra singer. And also the instrumentation in Misereret is very unusual. I mean, you have to have two guitars and no strings. And but he wrote it for us, and the first performance was in France, of all places, in an abbey in Rouen. And it was a great occasion. And from the very first performance, as I said, I immediately loved it. It's always been one of my very favourite pieces. I mean, to sing, it's just a joy. It's fantastic. I haven't counted, but not so many, because it is not performed that often, because of my answer to my previous question. The instrumental lineup is not so easy, because Misereret lasts for 35 minutes about. And what else can you do in a concert with these particular lineup of instruments? It's not so easy to program. Having said that, we did do one big tour of it when we did 11 performances in 2 weeks, so I got to know it very well then. In lots of different cathedrals. We were lucky enough to travel around England and sing Misereret in lots of different cathedrals in England. It was great fun. For me, singing Arvo Pärdi's music is the most challenging thing I ever do, we ever sing in the group. On the page, it looks fairly simple, long notes, slow, but the demands of singing, this control that's required in his music is so still, and the intonation and tuning is very important, that it's really quite difficult, and Arvo never makes it easy. Certainly for the singers, you'll find that normally it's an enormous range, we say in the voices. For example, tonight in Misereret, my range, like the bass, is nearly 2 octaves, we say in English. I'm going to have to bottom it and have lots of high Fs. And I mean, that is not easy to do, I mean, but even though it is difficult, the rewards are worth it. If you can really get this feel of his music and the control, and get into his music, it needs a lot of focus and concentration, then it is absolutely thrilling. And it come away like after a performance tonight, and I'm on a high. It's wonderful. I didn't know what to expect, as you say, because I'm used to singing it with my boys. I call them in the Hilliard. But I've really enjoyed it. They've been it's absolutely excellent. I mean, really, just the sort of way of the style of singing that Arvo would like and appeal. It's not too, because some people, if you have a lot of vibrato, if it's over emotive, then it doesn't really work. It's all in the music. You've got to sing it with this incredible control and yet intensity. And I think the young boys from Estonia have done a fantastic job, and I'm really enjoyed singing with them.